Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and we will begin with the open session portion. I'll read out the agenda item for closed session, and we'll see if we have any public comments. So the items for the closed session agenda will be public employee A 3.1, employment, discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment of employees, Government Code Section 54957. Item A 3.2, student expulsion, reinstatement, expulsion enrollments. Item 3.3, conference with labor negotiators. Agency designated representatives, Dr. Potemo Cavila, Superintendent, Dr. Rhea McIver Gibbs, Lead Personnel Agent, Personnel Services, and Mrs. Rhonda Kramer, Lead Personnel Agent, Personnel Services. Employee organizations are California School Employees Association, Chapter 203, CSEA, Rialto Education Association, REA, and Communication Workers of America, CWA. Item 3.4 is pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 D2 and/or D3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure litigation. Number of potential claims is 1. And then we have item A 3.5, review liability claim number 21-22-04, and item A 3.6, review liability claim number 21-22-09.
I make a motion to move into closed session.
Second.
Okay, and before we do that, Dr. Roberts, do we have any comments on closed session agenda items?
We do not.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Check, 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 pop, 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 check, 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 check. What? Like this? Me, normal? That ain't gonna happen. Check, 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 pop, 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 check, 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 check. Quiet, dude. Check. I'm doing a sound check here, dude. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. He's just doing a sound check. Check, check, Lee. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Oh, okay. Check, check, check.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Testing, testing. Doesn't sound like the microphone is on. It's on? Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. We'd like to continue with the adjournment of closed session. Can we get a motion? All in favor? Aye. I think it's good. There it goes. Okay, now they're all on. Thank you. Okay, so the time is 7:16. So we go to item A5, open session is reconvened. And first, we would like to ask fourth grade student Quetzal Montes from Morgan Elementary to please come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Well done. Thank you, Quetzal. Next, we go to report out of closed session, but before, okay, this is after. We'll go to report out of closed session.
Thank you, President Montes. We have two today. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Camille Neri Segura, occupational therapist. The roll call vote was unanimous. The Board of Education accepted the administrative appointment of Joseph Suarez, occupational therapist. The roll call vote was unanimous. That is all.
Thank you. So next we go to adoption of the agenda, item A8, but before, I just would like to please note that presentation item B 2.2 will be pulled from tonight's agenda. Unfortunately, Mr. Joseph Williams was not feeling well and could not be with us tonight. However, we will see him at our next board meeting of May 4th, 2022, where he will receive this distinguished recognition. Apologies to everybody that came tonight to support Mr. Williams, but we will be presenting him his award May 4th. Business and financial consent item E3.18, page 70. Agreement with Victoria Gardens Cultural Center will be amended to reflect the correct legal name of the vendor as follows. Agreement with SMG Rancho Cucamonga Premier Food Services LLC. And that is to approve an agreement with SMG Rancho Cucamonga Premier Food Services LLC to provide an event space for Minor High School's Adult Transition Program to host a school prom effective May 14, 2022 at a cost not to exceed $30,000 and to be paid from the general fund. With that, do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended? So moved. Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Aye. And we'll begin with B presentations, B1 Middle School District Student Advisory Committee, DSAC, and for that, our very own school student school board member, Julian Hunter, will help us.
Hello, can everybody hear me? Good Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Olivia Arachiga, and I am the proud ASE President of the Mighty Cole Cougars, and this is Vice President Abraham Martinez. First, we are excited to announce Kolb's impressive spring iReady data. 32% of our students met or exceeded ELA grade level standards and 30% for math. Both are the highest among our USC middle schools. Great job, Cougars. We know that all of our hard work and progress is going to show during the CASP testing season as well. Yesterday, Kolb began ELA CASP assessment. To prepare for testing, Kolb teachers and students have been reviewing test-taking vocabulary and test-taking skills. In April, classes focused on the term clarify. Have implemented will assist our Cougars during testing. In addition, last Thursday, ASB hosted a successful Disney theme day and an after-school movie night. Not only was this a great school fundraiser, we had a lot of fun spending time with friends at an after-school activity. We'd also like to congratulate the Kolb staff members who earned Employer of the Quarter for their outstanding work during Quarter 3. They are 7th grade teacher, Mrs. Brandy Brunson, and Campus Safety Officer, Ms. Williams. Congratulations, Mrs. Brunson and Officer Williams, and thank you for making Kolb a great and safe place for us all to be. Finally, Kolb is very excited to be in the process of planning school dances for April and May. We're working extremely hard to reward our students and all of their hard work throughout the year. Before I conclude, I would like to take this opportunity right now before I'm finished for the rest of the year and I don't really have to come and talk anymore. I'd like to thank everybody here for the opportunity to be here and share out as a part of my middle school. And I would also like to thank DSAC for the opportunity to be here and be given these chances, because I personally know all too well that so many young leaders aren't able to these days. And I would also like to thank DSAC for the opportunity to bring in such valuable and personal people who share such personal stories and give me so many life lessons that I know that I will take with me when I get older. Lastly, I would like to personally thank Ms. Saida Joffrey, because you are always such an exquisite role model, and I don't think I've ever seen a better person cheer on Kolb or DSAC. With that being said, I would just like to end off this with saying, Kolb Cougars, always loud and proud, and thank you for letting me speak this year.
All right, next up from Frisbee Middle School, we have Judith Madrigal.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Avila, and viewing audience. My name is Judith Madrigal, ASB President at Frisbee Middle School. We have a lot of events going on in our fourth quarter. Tomorrow, we are set to honor all of our Falcon Scholars who made the honor roll for third quarter. We are also in the middle of preparing all of our end-of-year events for our 8th grade students. This includes a trip to Knott's Berry Farm, our 8th grade dance, and an 8th grade field day. And finally, Career and College Week is set for next week. Avid students have been preparing for weeks as they will be providing information about new and exciting professions. We want to bring to our school information that is uniquely geared towards providing the tools, knowledge, and resources to schools seeking higher education and professions. Remember, knowledge is power, and we feel that now is the time to start thinking about our future. Those are all the events happening at Frisbee. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
And next up, we have Tiffany Alvarez from JQ Middle School.
Speak a little bit louder. Microphone go off? Go ahead.
and viewing audience. I'm Tiffany Alvarez from JQ Middle School. We are super excited to have the incoming fifth graders come dance the day away tomorrow at the annual Moving On Up dance. This year's theme is Blast Off to Middle School. And then the following week, we get to see them again for their orientation. Exciting times. Our fabulous 8th grade counselor, Mr. Ed, and his band members have been visiting a few elementary schools and spending some time with the students. Everyone has had a blast. A few weeks ago, our choir and band members, led by the wonderful Miss Prado, attended the District Music Festival at Carter. Amazing musical talents were on display from all the schools, but we are especially proud of our Jaguars. We were happy to have Dr. Berciaga on campus last Thursday, spending some time at our Beauty and the Beast royalty dance. He even got his photo with Beauty and Jiggy, aka the Beast. Miss Ivy even got out on the dance floor. We crowned our king and queen and danced, ate some pizza, danced, and had some Gatorade and a few chips and danced. My feet hurt thinking about it all. Spring sports games are in full gear. They start at 2:15. We wish all the middle school athletes at Frisbee, Cusera, Kolb, and Rialto Middle good luck in the season. On Friday, April 22nd, our 6th graders will compete in the annual 6th grade Knowledge Bowl competition. We can't wait to see who will be the winning class this year. May the best class win. Stay tuned for the winner to be announced. Come on over to see them in action competing for the Knowledge Bowl title. That is all from JQ. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Have a nice evening.
And last but not least, we have Margaret Valencia from Rialto Middle School.
Good evening, Honorable Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Avila, and the viewing audience. I'm Margaret Valencia, and I'm the proud ASB president of Rialto Middle School. I hope that you're all doing well this evening. ASB has been working hard to make these last 2 months of school memorable for all the students at RMS. We started the month off with one of our legendary ASB lunch events, where we jammed out, played games, and had fun during lunch. We also were lucky to host our 5th grade Tiger Cubs from Warner, Simpson, Curtis, and Bemis last week and show them a bit of our Tiger spirit. Let's just say our Cubs are very excited for their future lunch options. Miss Diana and our lunch chef did an amazing job serving them a delicious lunch. We ended last week with our Spring Paradise dance, which was a huge success, and our Tigers were able to dance their way through the night. Our web team is helping our library host an amazing scholastic book fair for our students here at RMS. So if you like cozying up with a good book, come to RMS and get your next reading. Finally, our 8th grade Tigers are gearing up for a night of fun at Universal Studios Junior Grad Bash. This after-school event will have Tigers experiencing Hogwarts, Simpson, Jurassic World, Transformers, and so much more from 9 to midnight. From everyone at RMS, we hope you have a blast. RMS Tigers, we are talented people who don't stop trying no matter what. 2022, this is our year. This is the year of the Tiger. It's our time. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our DSAC student speakers, and then also thank you, Mr. Hunter, for helping us with those. I just would like to, before we continue, I'd like to first and foremost welcome and recognize our very own former school board member, Mrs. Joanne Gilbert. Please stand. Mrs. Gilbert's name's etched on that plaque out here when we dedicated the Parent Institute here to Mr. Winton, and then her name's etched on various plaques throughout the district, the Ronnie Lott Stadium, and so on and so forth. And we thank her for her many years of service to this community and to our district. Thank you for being here tonight. I also would like to welcome City of San Bernardino Council Member for the 7th Ward, Mr. Damon L. Alexander, for joining us tonight. Thank you and welcome to Rialto. And by chance, is there any other dignitaries here tonight? I'd hate to miss anybody. Okay. Thank you again, and we'll move on to Key to the District B2. And congratulations, Mrs. Celia Saravia, community member and advocate for students, presented by myself. Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches. So before I begin reading this very, very long write-up / speech for Ms. Saravia, I just want to say that the key to the district is one of the highest honors that a school board member could bestow to anybody in the community, anybody involved with our district. And we had put this on hold during COVID because of the meetings and whatnot and the precautions. So it's a very special night for us tonight to be able to bring this recognition back to our board meetings. And I want to thank everybody that's here tonight to join us for this occasion. And it's really nice that we could do this meeting here at the bistro, because as we all know, our board room is a little small. And thank you all for being here tonight. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, for over 2 decades, this person has redefined what it is to be an active member of an educational community by always being one of the strongest proponents for the rights of children and parents everywhere. Whether she is advocating for her own children or representing the rights of children she doesn't even know, this woman with an exceptional heart for all of the people is always the first one to step up to the plate and meet the challenge of enriching students' education. Tonight, it is my humble honor to present Mrs. Celia Saravia with my 2021-2022 Key to the District. If you know one thing about Mrs. Saravia, it is that she's always what she means. She says what she means, and she means what she says. She consistently demonstrates her true compassion for the students of this district through advocacy and empathy. It takes a lot to be an active parent volunteer of a school district, but she does it with pure joy and with the intent of improving the quality of education in our district in whatever way she can. Mrs. Saravia was born and raised in El Salvador after attending Santa Ynez Private Catholic School in El Salvador and later on the University of El Salvador. She moved with her family to the city of Rialto, where she has been a resident for the past 30 years, arriving to the community in 1992. Raising a family in Rialto, she has 3 grown children who have completed their Rialto USD journey: Mikey Saravia, Brian Saravia, and Carly Saravia. Although Mrs. Saravia was extremely surprised at the news of receiving this key, she commented, "It is humbly, and I didn't expect it. I have felt the affection of many people in this district because this is my district, my children's district. It is my community, and I will always be fighting for education in it." Our parent volunteers spend countless hours away from their own families to organize and work for the district for more robust student-family programs. For decades, Mrs. Saravia understands the unique and vital relationship between students, teachers, and parents. Because of this knowledge and her comprehension of the incredibly important dynamic that parent involvement equals student success, we are fortunate to have such an impactful community leader like her. Mrs. Saravia's genuine love for children of this community shines brightly and is recognized by almost every person she meets. Our district's mission statement is our bridge to connect students with their aspirations for their future and ensure each student achieves personal and career fulfillment within a global society through a vital system distinguished by effective family and community involvement. Mrs. Saravia's legacy in this district is the embodiment of that statement. She challenges the educational norm in order to strengthen families' role in their children's education, a calling she consistently meets without the desire to be rewarded. People who give back without expectation of the receiving something back are the people we should spotlight and honor. Mrs. Saravia is a mother of children with special need, but she does not hesitate to help anyone, whether it is general education or special education. She added, quote, "I just want inclusion in all areas in the community, in schools and in churches, the inclusion of special children, that of people with special needs. I have achieved, or better yet, we have achieved because a single person cannot." A swallow, which is a bird, does not make a summer, my grandmother used to say. Aside from success in the areas of parental advocacy, Mrs. Saravia has stated she is proud of her success in making changes both in the district and in her church, organizing support and advocating that children can take their sacraments. However, she noted that her biggest success has been with her children. Quote, "I teach my children to fight for education. My two oldest are professionals. I got Mikey to graduate with his diploma, and I also did that with him." She lists her biggest inspiration in her life as her grandmother, Catalina, her father's mother. She expressed that since she was a teacher, she instilled in Mrs. Saravia a love for education. Aside from her children and the students of the RUSD, the most important people in her life are her family, including her mother, Celia, her father, Miguel, and her 4 siblings, Antonio, Catherine, Elizabeth, and Rose. In her spare time, her hobbies are cooking, bringing family and friends together, and of course, shopping. Me invita para la próxima vez. Invite me. Good evening. I think I got my pages mixed up. Bueno, I think that's enough. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you for everything, Celia.
Gracias, Mr. Montes.
Thank you, Mr. Montes.
Estoy deteniendo mi llanto. Estoy bien emocionada.
I'm holding back the
Muy
tears.
agradecida con la comunidad.
I'm very
con el
emotional.
distrito, mi distrito.
Thankful to the community for this distinction.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good evening,
Presidente
members of the
Mr.
board.
Montes, vicepresidenta Miss Louis, audiencia.
President Mr. Montes,
Doctor
Vice President
Ávila,
Ms. Lewis,
Superintendente
audience.
Dr. Ávila.
Superintendent
y
Dr.
audiencia.
Avila, and audience.
Quiero agradecer al presidente Mr. Montes por este reconocimiento desde el fondo de mi corazón.
I want to thank Mr. Montes for this recognition from the bottom of my heart.
Le agradezco, Mr. Montes, por pensar en mí. Me siento privilegiada por Dios por permitirme servir a mi comunidad.
I thank you, Mr. Montes, for thinking of me. I feel privileged by God for allowing me to serve my community.
Agradecida con mis hijos, mi más grande inspiración
I'm grateful to my children, my greatest inspiration,
y motivo para abogar por la educación.
and my motivation for advocating for education.
por el apoyo que he recibido de ellos,
for the support I've received from them,
por su ejemplo,
for their example,
por su fortaleza.
for their strength.
Brian, Carly, que está en el servicio militar, en la Navy.
Brian
Estoy
and
muy
Carly,
orgullosa de mis hijos
who's in the military service in the Navy. I'm very proud of my children,
y especialmente mi hijo Mike, que tiene autismo.
and especially my child, Mike, who
Es
is
mi gran
autistic.
motivación para abogar por la educación especial y la
He's-
inclusión.
He's my great motivation for advocating for special education and inclusion.
A mis padres y a mi abuela, que era maestra,
I'm grateful to my parents and my grandmother, who was a teacher,
y siempre decía que la mejor herencia que nos podía dar es la educación.
and who always used to tell us that the greatest heritage she could leave us was in education.
Porque todo podíamos perder o nos podían quitar,
Because we lose everything, or everything could be taken away from us,
pero nunca la educación.
but they could never take away our education.
También quiero mencionar
I also want to mention
que en el camino encontré muchas personas
that along the way I found many people
que me inspiraron y motivaron
that inspired me and motivated me
con su ejemplo de lucha y perseverancia.
with an example of perseverance and fighting.
Personas que tienen todo mi respeto y admiración
People who hold all my respect and admiration
por su entrega y dedicación,
because of their commitment and dedication,
dedicación incondicional,
unconditional dedication,
para ayudar a otros
to help others.
y son un gran ejemplo a seguir.
And they are a great example to follow.
Uno de ellos, que en paz descanse,
One of them, may he rest in peace,
Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Wilson.
Él me motivó en momentos muy difíciles que tuve aquí que tuve durante mi camino en la educación especial.
He was my motivation during very difficult moments that I lived through in education, special education here.
Él era un gran ejemplo
He was a great example.
y nos motivaba a luchar y
And-
abogar por la educación.
And he used to motivate us to fight and advocate for education.
Todo el tiempo enfatizó a nuestros derechos.
Otra vez, por favor.
Todo el tiempo, Mr. Wilson nos enfatizó que teníamos derechos
At all moments, Mr. Wilson emphasized to us that we had rights
y que nosotros teníamos que luchar para hacerles saber a todos que la educación especial no eran los olvidados.
and that we should fight to let everyone know that special education should not be forgotten.
También quiero agradecer a Mr. Larry Hinfrost,
I also wanted to thank Mr. Larry Gifford,
que siempre está listo para ayudar
who's always ready to help
a los padres y niños especiales.
parents and special needs children.
Mr. Montes,
Mr. Montes,
un joven luchador por la educación y los
Eh,
derechos de los estudiantes,
a young fighter for education and the rights of students,
y ahora es nuestro presidente del board.
and who is now our board president.
Imagínense qué gran inspiración he tenido en mi caminar.
Imagine what a great inspiration I found along my road.
No quiero dejar atrás a mi compañera de lucha, Mirna Ruiz.
And I don't want to leave out my fighting partner, Ms. Mirna Ruiz.
Ella es mi compañera de lucha por la educación especial.
She is my partner in this fight for special education.
A los padres y niños especiales,
The parents and special needs children,
maestros que he conocido en mi caminar,
all the teachers that I've met along the way,
Miss Lori Eater.
Ms. Lori Edith.
Quiero mencionar algunos, pero a veces ahorita pensaba, no los voy a mencionar por nombres porque son muchos y no quiero dejar a nadie, pero Lori Eater,
I want to mention so many of them, but I don't really want to do all the names because I might forget someone and I don't want to forget anybody.
pero Miss Lori Eater fue la primera maestra
But Ms. Lori
de
Edith was the
educación
first teacher,
especial.
special
me
education
motivó.
teacher, that motivated me.
A Karen Contreras,
Karen Contreras.
le digo que es la número 1.
I tell her she's number one.
Michelle Rancin,
Michelle Rensing,
personas que he conocido últimamente, Miss Karen McPherson,
and people that I've met lately is Karen McPherson,
Doctor de Sousa.
Dr. De Souza.
Me ha inspirado mucho.
Has
porque
inspired me a
por
lot.
su lucha, siempre preocupado por traer programas para nuestros estudiantes.
Because of his constant fight, always concerned with students.
El tío Derek,
Tío Derek.
sí, nos motiva con su alegría.
Uncle Derek, who
nuestros
motivates us
niños.
with his happiness, joy.
Todo eso es inspiración para nosotros. Sí.
All of this is an inspiration for us.
a Gil Navarro,
aquí en Navarro,
a Doris, a Lisa, a Araceli Flores, de la secretaria de Special Ed, una
Special
mujer
Ed
muy
Secretary.
entregada.
a very dedicated woman,
A la doctora Claudia Hernández, a la psicóloga Lorena McGrath, a Erika Johnson, a Miss Bridget Ely y muchos administradores,
and many administrators,
muchísimos administradores y muchísimos maestros.
many administrators and many teachers.
A nuestro board,
Our board,
estoy muy orgullosa de ustedes.
I'm very proud of you all.
A nuestro superintendente, doctor Ávila,
Our superintendent, Dr. Avila.
por habernos regresado, les agradezco por habernos regresado la confianza.
I thank you all for
los
having
padres.
brought back the confidence of the parents.
La confianza que habíamos perdido en nuestro distrito. Y
That-
yo estoy muy agradecida con todos ustedes. Y ahorita estoy hablando por mí, pero son palabras de todos mis papás que están acá, que vinieron ahora a acompañarme.
That confidence that we had lost on our board, thank you for bringing it back. I'm so grateful. And right now I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure I'm speaking for all the parents that are right here, right now.
Este reconocimiento es para ellos también.
This recognition is also for them.
Como repito, estamos agradecidos por la confianza que en nuestro distrito y por escucharnos.
As I said, we're grateful for the confidence, the trust that our district has given us and for having listened to us.
A los estudiantes que son nuestro orgullo y nuestra meta.
We're grateful to the students who are our pride and our goal.
Todos somos una pieza importante
We're all an important piece
para lograr el éxito de nuestros estudiantes
to achieve the success of our students
y de nuestro distrito.
and the success of our district.
Unidos hacemos la diferencia.
United, we do make a difference.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede.
También le agradezco a Mr. Martínez
I'm also grateful to Mr. Martinez
porque en un momento difícil usted fue mi hombro.
because at a very difficult moment, you were my shoulder.
Quiero citar dos frases que me inspiran muchísimo.
And I want to cite two phrases that are an inspiration to me.
La pregunta más urgente y persistente en la vida,
The most
Es-
urgent and persistent question in life is,
¿qué estás haciendo por los demás?
what are you doing for the others?
Esa es una frase de Dr. Martin Luther King.
That is a quote of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Y la otra frase que me inspira mucho,
And the other quote that inspires me a lot,
el que no vive para servir, no sirve para vivir.
he who,
Madre
does,
Teresa de Calcuta.
he who does not live to serve isn't worth living. Sorry, it doesn't translate very well. Mother Teresa of
de
Calcutta.
Estamos orgullosos de nuestro superintendente, Dr. Ávila,
We're very proud of our superintendent, Dr. Avila,
y de nuestro board.
and of our board.
De verdad, desde el fondo de mi corazón, yo les agradezco, Mr. Montes, mi admiración, lo conozco de muy joven, sé lo mucho que ha trabajado, lo mucho que nuestro board está trabajando,
Truly,
vemos la diferencia.
I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart, Mr. Montes, all my admiration. I've known you for a long time. I've seen how hard you have worked. We see the difference.
Muchas gracias y bendiciones para todos.
Thank you so much and blessings to you all.
Sí, está bien. Quiero invitar a los padres de niños, todos los padres que me vinieron a acompañar, que pasen al frente para que nos tomemos una foto con nuestro reconocimiento.
And I'd like to
De
invite the
todos
parents of special
nosotros.
needs children to come up front and take a picture with me so that for this our recognition.
Quiero mencionar, por último, quiero mencionar al Departamento de Nutrición también, porque ellos me inspiran, son trabajadores tan fuertes, mi admiración de verdad durante el tiempo de la pandemia, tiempos tan difíciles, fueron una gran inspiración para mí, para no cansarme, porque ellos estaban trabajando fuerte.
I also want to
También,
mention the
gracias
nutrition
al Departamento
department.
de
They're such hard
Nutrición,
workers
Pasa,
at such a
María,
time,
Cristina,
such as a
Juan,
pandemic time. They worked so
Sara,
tirelessly. They were my inspiration, so I wouldn't give up, so I would continue working. Please come up front.
enfrente.
Thank you again to everybody who was able to make it out tonight. Let's give Ms. Saravia one more round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And next we go to item C1, comments, public comments not on the agenda. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
Yes, we have several. First, our neighboring council member, Mr. Damian Alexander.
Good evening, Mr. President and Superintendent Avila, and adults and parents. I'm Damon Alexander, councilman for the city of San Bernardino, your neighbor to the east. And I just would like to, well, I came here to support Trustee Williams. So when I found out that he wasn't going to appear, I was on my way out the door, but Saida stopped me at the door and said, let him know that you were here. So Trustee Williams, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. The key to the district, I understand, is a very distinguished honor, which he well deserves. You know, Trustee Williams has worked and toiled in the labor camps of education for a very long time. And one thing I know about Joseph is that he takes his charge seriously. If you don't know him, not only, it doesn't just stop at the trustee board at the community college district. He takes it where he works at too. I noticed over the years that everything he does is children and education oriented. Even his job at SCE, I believe it's SCE, at his job, which I admire. And that's why I was here to support him, because that kind of dedication is hard to find. So on behalf of the mayor and the city council of the city of San Bernardino, I can't be here next time because it's actually council meeting for us next time you guys recognize him. So I will be at my council meeting. But Joseph, if you're looking and listening, please, you have my congratulations wholeheartedly. And you guys did such a great job with this key to the district. I think I might just take that and make it key to the city or something like that. It's a great idea. So thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you.
Evelyn Dominguez.
Hello. Good evening, our valued board members, Dr. Avila, and our esteemed audience. My name is Evelyn Dominguez. I am a parent of 2 Rialto scholars and 1 future scholar. I am a member of the Alancia Latina, and I am here to personally invite every single one of you to our Earth Day event. This invitation extends to all of our board members, all of our audience here today, and our audience that is watching via the live stream. It will be tomorrow, April 21st, 2020 at 5 p.m. located at Rialto Middle School. Alancia Latina has collaborated with the Center of Community Action and Environmental Justice. We will be focusing on the environmental justice, Rialto's school gardens, climate change, tour Rialto Middle School to showcase our scholars' hard work, along with other fun topics and activities. Refreshments will be provided, so please come hungry. They're very good. We all know how important our gardens are to our community, as they contribute to our scholars' wellness center in a high school setting, provides life skills on how to garden and grow organic fruits and vegetables at all levels, assist some of the science and education in our district, and even feed our scholars organic and locally grown fruits and vegetables by having our nutrition program buy these healthy options and provide them during school lunches. So I personally invite you to come out to learn about our growing, loving, and giving gardens. It will also give us the opportunity to celebrate our Mother Earth, and we hope to see you there. Thank you and have a good night and happy Earth Day. I also have a flyer for each one of you guys, so you guys can take home with you.
Thank you, Ms. Dominguez. Dr. Avila, do we have any more speakers for not on the agenda?
Yes, Ted Campos.
And just would like to remind the community that we do ask to adhere to a 3-minute per speaker. Just a friendly reminder.
Good evening, Superintendent Avila, members of the board, and staff. Mr. Brinker spoke to you last session and commented that there were amazing teachers among our Rialto family whom you should seek input. I am here tonight to present myself as one of those. By way of introduction, my name is Dr. Ted Campos. I have a PhD in education with an emphasis in higher education and student affairs from Claremont Graduate University. I started my teaching career in 1990, and I have been a teacher with Rialto since September of 1993. I have worked at all levels of education and started in elementary school in LAUSD. I started and continued on as a Kelly Koala under the principal Robin Santiago. I then continued as a Frisbee Falcon under Principal Shalimar Horsley. I was selected to open up Carter High School by Ray Johnson and was a proud Lion for 10 years. And I have returned to middle school as a Kolb Cougar. I've been an adjunct professor of teacher education at Azusa Pacific University, and I stopped when I returned to school to earn my terminal degree. During my tenure with Rialto Unified, I have seen some highs and lows. The current trend of saving face with modifications to the grading policy, and tonight's action on the softened verbiage of Board Policy 5145.9, the hate-motivated behavior, are indicators that our district is not heading in the right direction. Also at the last session, Mr. Montano from Rialto High School spoke to the negative effects that the zero grading policy has on student success and opportunities. I, too, question the decision-making process that began the trend. I am content that you have paused it for now. Lowering the standard was a common practice in East LA in the 1980s when I attended Garfield High School. I was in the 3rd class of Jaime Escalante's AP Calculus program. He would push us not to give up on ourselves, but he did not lower the standard. He increased expectations, took no excuses, and was a guide by example. Too often, our district tends to bend the bar so that appearances are better. Understandably, the stakeholders are more vocal nowadays, but to give in and to appease someone benefits no one in the long run. I am one of those teachers that have had meetings with my principal with the question, why do you have so many D's and F's? My response is the same. A grade is a representation of a student's mastery of California standards at a level. When you give me two students that are 2 or more grade levels below, my goal is growth, not grade level. And my principal's response is also the same. But Mr. Campos, the board uses grades as a measure of student success. If this is true, that you are using grades as a single measure of a student's learning, then that is a shame. My current 6th grader that has earned a D+ in my class but has improved iReady scores from the fall of kindergarten to spring of 3rd grade would disagree with you that she is not a success. In conclusion, I encourage you to adopt a metric that uses grades, growth on standardized tests, student attendance, student work completion, and related indicators as measures of student learning and teacher effectiveness. Thank you.
Tobin Brinker.
Good evening, Board. Dr. Ted Campos, thank you for speaking tonight. What a highly qualified individual we have working here in Rialto, and I hope you heard everything he had to say. I came here tonight with a bunch of things I wanted to say, and I'm going to try my best to just sort of summarize it. I don't have them written down. I want to start with a couple positives. First off, over the last 2 weeks, I had opportunities to be out and about for a variety of reasons, and I was at Rialto High School on the morning when they did the prom dress giveaway, and I cannot begin to tell you how amazing it was. And I was there for an entirely different reason, but I put down what I was doing, and I said, let me help, and I just helped move boxes around. I was only there for a little bit, but the people that were involved and the changes that they made in people's lives by giving them prom dresses, beautiful shoes, makeup, all the accessories, it was really a fantastic, fantastic event, and the people who did it deserve so much credit, and we should be thanking them so much. Secondly, I'm here to thank you, because you did listen. We came here multiple times asking you to put a pause on this standards-based grading, and specifically asking that you take that 50% rule and you disable it, right? Because it was put into our computer system, so if you put a 0, it automatically gave the kid 50%, and you listened. And so, Dr. Avila, thank you for listening. You've won some, and I'll say it like this, some credibility with the people that had some doubts, that they were feeling like this was just going to be jammed down our throats and that we weren't going to be given a real seat at the table. And I think we feel now that we do have a seat at the table. I've been participating in the Standards-Based Grading Committee. We've had 4 meetings. We're meeting every Monday. We've got another 6 meetings scheduled, and it's going well. But I will tell you that it has generally been a one-sided conversation, a sales pitch, as it were. And I wish that there would be more of an opportunity for the people who have questions and reservations to get them answered. And often they're raised, we speak up, and we're given the answer, well, we'll get to that, we'll get to that. We haven't gotten to it. And that's a frustration, because it feels like we're not really being listened to. We need to listen to those people. We've got a couple board members who've been in the district for a while, Mr. Martinez, Ms. O'Kelly. You remember when we did standards-based grading before, and we had a grading system with the 4-3-2-1, and it was a disaster. And I think when you first got on the board, sir, is when we repealed it. You know, there's a lot of teachers who were here then, and you need to listen to them because they have strong reservations and they need to be heard. And if you want to win them over, you have to start by listening. You have to start by listening. I've only got a few seconds left. The last thing I really need to say to you is our teachers don't feel safe. I mentioned this to you before. We are seeing increasing violence on our schools' campuses. Our teachers do not feel supported and they do not feel safe. I will be sending an email to all of you to explain some of the specifics of what that is and why that's happening. But I'll tell you, we had a really great conversation at Frisbee, and I want you to think about the idea of, for the end of this school year, suspending the use of cell phones district-wide. And here's why. We're in state testing. They're not supposed to have the phones anyway. Let's get a little block here where we just tell our parents, you know what? Let's have a month or 2 without those phones. So much problems are coming from these phones. This is where the cyberbullying is. This is how they're organizing their fights. This is how they're just doing so many negative things, and there's so much data. We brought this to you 2 years ago. The amount of data that we've got since then is just through the roof. The cell phones are not helping our kids. We need to do something about the cell phones. Thank you very much.
Michael Montano.
Good evening, everyone. Let me start with a quote which I'm sure I read before. Discussions are always better than arguments because an argument is to find out who is right and a discussion to find out what is right. And I just came to speak on 2 things. One is to echo off of what Mr. Brinker said about the 50% and the standards-based grading, and thank you all for deciding to slow down on that and to make sure that we actually get it done right if we do go down this route. And with that, I was notified by a teacher, actually 2 teachers a couple of days ago, that the 50%, good thing that we're, got communications lines open, that the default, at least for high school, at least our site, was actually a minimum of 55%. So, and they sent me a screenshot of that, so in the Synergy system, so I just thought, hopefully that's just a, was a honest mistake, because it was proposed as a 50%, but second thing that I wanted to do was to, once again, to thank Rhonda and Ria for allowing me time off to work with CTA on a think tank that is going to be put together. We're working on putting together a summit to re-engage teachers. And I'm thinking, okay, well, at the end of the year, it's a little bit late, but this is really going to segue into the next thing. And word of warning, there's one more coming up, one more release date. Second thing that, asking again, everybody, including the superintendent, I've had a lot of teachers share with me that they are, especially our SPED department, that are thinking of leaving, whether it's to a different district or just out of teaching completely. So maybe we can reach out to them and hear them out, and something to also help encourage them to stay on, that yes, we've been through some rough times, but it's more teachers than there should be. And we really need to reach out to them because some of them are really good teachers, and we don't want to lose them to another district or just lose them to retiring earlier than they want to, earlier than we need them to. So please, 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 if you can reach out, because there are more, and I can't give names, but start with the SPED department, maybe at the different high schools. Again, I'm only familiar with high school, but too many teachers are thinking about leaving because it's been rough. It's been rough on everybody. So please, if we can do that, we've already lost a few. So that's it. Thank you.
That is all we have.
Next, we go to item C2, public comments on agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes.
We don't have any.
All right, that takes us to item C3, comments from association executive board members, and we'll start with Rialto Education Association, REA.
Good evening, distinguished board, innovation team, and everyone viewing at home. I am Maisha Calloway, and I am the proud president of REA, which is our teachers union here in Rialto. I want to thank all of the awesome unit members as everyone starts to unwind and wrap up the school year. It has been a very, very different type of school year. I want to let everyone know that all you have to do is hold on and be strong. We have almost made it to the end. As we are ending this year, I'm already focused on improving things as we prepare for next school year. As you all know, summer will go fast and it's right around the corner. There are many concerns across many departments, but once again, safety is a major concern that is truly and really affecting everyone at every level. The safety department has been doing an excellent job with giving resources for teachers, and they will be conducting a workshop for REA unit members coming up soon so that we can start looking towards next school year and seeing what ways we can improve and help our students. With that said, teachers and educators are doing what they can with what they have at all of the school sites. I have a major concern right now that has been brought to me from Rialto Middle School. The police have been visiting this site quite often over the past few months. The teachers do not know what to do. They've been trying to communicate with their admin with no luck. So I was asked to come down and see what was going on, to see how I could assist them. The issue is that there are many things going on with the students, and there is no communication from the principal to the teachers or the staff. Teachers have to find out about different things from the children and bits of pieces of gossip that they are basically piecing together, which really isn't gossip, but it is when you're not giving the facts. What is going on is they've had to find out about BB guns that were on the campus that look very real because I saw the pictures and the pellets, knives with 3-inch blades that have been found on students on campus. One student had fireworks that they were throwing into the crowd, into the trash can, not one day, but 2 days in a row. which means that they were on campus 2 days with either lighters or matches or something that could spark and light these fireworks. The biggest concern and the major concern came when one student was sliced in the face with a tape dispenser by another student. This was a very, very traumatic event that students had to witness. I asked the admin, what was discussed with the staff? And the answer was nothing. The admin said he stopped the fight, but when I saw the video, I didn't see the admin stop the fight at all. I saw the students had stopped on their own with the help of a teacher. There was blood all over the concrete and dripping from the student's face. I asked the staff if the admin was made aware, and the answer was no. Teachers the following day were unable to console any students that had been traumatized by this event. As we all know, some students do grow up in homes where they see violence, and things like this can be traumatizing. We also know that there are students that grow up in a peaceful home, and things like this can also be very traumatizing to them. The matter was so traumatized that the student that had inflicted the injury was shocked herself when she saw what she had done. You can see it all in the video. The teachers are the first line of defense. If admin or no one even let them know that this or all of the other issues occurred, how are the teachers given a chance to protect the students? What if a teacher told a student, come into class, take your seat, get busy, and that student's thinking about what they witnessed at school? Then they ask to go to the restroom. The teacher's like, you just got here, sit down, get busy. The teachers have no idea what is going on. As we all know, teachers are the first line of defense. When admin and others let us know what's going on campus, we often take time to talk to our students. Hey, I hear this is going on the campus.
I do apologize.
I hear that is going on the campus.
I apologize. The time is up.
I have 3 minutes or more than 3 minutes today.
All public comments are 3 minutes for all public comment.
Okay. So all that I'm asking is that we get help down to Rialto Middle School. When teachers are calling on the phone, there's no one answering the phone. The principal has told them to call the Tiger hotline, but my question was, who answers the Tiger hotline? An 8th grade aide that's sitting in the office? So I just asked that we get different things like this handled, and we make sure that the admin knows that the teachers are the first line of defense, and we have to communicate. Thank you. I'll speak more next board meeting. Thank you.
And again, I just would like to remind everybody of the board policies to limit any one subject to 20 minutes total for multiple speakers speaking on the same subject, and just please try to keep 3 minutes per speaker for public comment. Thank you. Next up, we'll go to California School Employees Association.
Good evening, Rialto family. My name is Chris Cordasco. I'm the CSEA chapter president. I just wanted to remind you guys, past practice is that the bargaining unit leaders are typically not timed. We are your employees, and we should have the right to speak for as long as we need to. I stand before you guys tonight disappointed in some of the actions and decisions made by this board. I'm currently drafting a letter outlining my concerns, and I will be sending that to you by the end of the week. I hope we can get together and work these issues out. Thank you.
Next, we go to Communication Workers of America, CWA.
And good evening, everyone. And we're happy to be continuing with the school year, but I'm hoping something can be done about the safety issues that were mentioned and getting the grading policy to where everyone's in agreement. And basically, I'm hoping things will get better. And thanks. Have a good night.
Last but not least, we go to Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA.
Good evening, Board, President Montez, Vice President Lewis, the rest of the Board of Education and the innovation team. My name is Dr. Griffin. I am the proud principal of Myler and Zupanic. Couple of updates for our RSMA members. First, voting is opened until April 27th for 3 open positions on our executive board. We have president-elect, treasurer, and our classified confidential representative. The next point is that we have 5 scholarships that we award to seniors at every high school. That window closes Friday, so I encourage my colleagues to make sure that they have students who are applying so that they can utilize those funds for the next stage of life. And finally, our scholarship for our RSMA members, students. So any member who has their own student who would like to apply for a scholarship, the due date for that is May 1st. Those are all of our updates this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we go to comments from our student board member.
Well, I just got a couple of updates that are going on at my school. Myler's graduation is June 4th. It's Saturday at the Toyota Arena at 8 a.m. Found out recently that DSAC students get to walk first across the stage, so that's a plus. I want to congratulate all Myler and Zupanic students for really taking their testing seriously. You know, this week we're CASP and LPAC testing, so everyone's really pushing hard through those testing. I want to congratulate Coach Black for being able to, I guess, really mold the students that he took under his wing. We took a survey at the beginning of the Manhood Project, and now we took another one at the end. And the survey shows that all the Manhood students are more, I guess they really like coming to school more, I guess you can say. They're more there. And last time I mentioned Myler's prom, I did say it was $25. It's actually now free. And it's Saturday, May 14th at Victoria Gardens, the Cultural Center, from 7:30 to 11, and it's hosted by our transition students. So
Thank you. Next, we go to C5, comments from our superintendent.
Thank you, President Montes. And this is, like for many of us, one of my favorite times of the year because it's really time to celebrate. I do have some announcements from a couple of our schools. I did have the pleasure of attending Carter High School's Distinguished Scholars Award a few days ago. I just want to congratulate Melissa Montoya and Sacred Mosley. They are the proud salutatorians for this school year. Melissa has a GPA of 4.67, and Sacred has a GPA of 4.6. And a big congratulations to our valedictorian, Natalie Flores, who broke what many thought was an impossible goal, and that is that she has a GPA of 4.95. Eisenhower High School has a trio of valedictorians, but before announcing them, let me thank or congratulate Ava Jimenez and Miguel Ruiz Licea. They are the salutatorians for the Eagles. Both have a GPA of 4.7. And our trio of Alejandra Hernandez, Leslie Hernandez, not related, and Yoselin Tapia, they have a GPA of 4.73. And speaking of our Eagles, the Pace Percussion Ensemble wrapped up a history-making season this past weekend by taking second place at the Southern California Percussion Alliance Championship held at the Toyota Arena in Ontario. Their 85.8 score in the competition put them just 0.72 points out of first place, and it is the fourth highest score nationally for their division. The group is led by Eisenhower Band Director, Mr. Charlene Jackson, and features students from Eisenhower and Carter High School. Along the same lines, congratulations to Eisenhower High School's choir and choir director Stephanie Chamberlain for their outstanding performance at the North County Show Choir competition earlier this month. The Ike Singers secured the coveted first place spot and Most Outstanding Musicianship Award at the competition held in Oceanside. Alfredo Perez, representing the Ike Singers, wowed the judges with a performance that earned him Best Performer Award. I also want to thank the amazing parents and teachers of our district. As members of our PTA, the Rialto Council PTA rocked its annual PTA Awards ceremony on Friday, April 15, 2022. It was an outstanding event at the Rialto Council of PTAs who honored those who provided services from 2020 through 2022. So they were playing catch up. Thank you, parents and teachers, for your dedication. Thank you for another fantastic event honoring our district's parents and dedicated staff. And also, congratulations to Ms. Celia Sarabia on your recognition or your being awarded the key to the district. And also, thank you to Ms. Patty Reese for dropping off our autism pins that you see myself and the board wearing. We know that April 2nd was World Autism Day and the National Autism Awareness Month was this April. Thank you so much for thinking of us. And finally, we have some state honors that are currently embargoed, and we'll be sharing those recognitions at an upcoming board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we go to comments from board members, and we will begin with ladies first. Ms. O'Kelly?
Well, first of all, I want to say how nice it was to sit with so many people here. It's been a long time. Those were the old days. We used to fill the room all the time. But then COVID hit and kind of dwindled the crowd down because we had to practice our social distancing. But anyway, it was wonderful to see everybody here tonight. I want to congratulate Celia Zaravia. She does wonderful things for special education children and is well known in the community and willing to help anybody who needs her help. So that was a wonderful award for her. The other thing, Dr. Avila stole my thunder, but I have to brag because I am a former principal of Eisenhower High School, and the Ike Choirs won very, very big at the North County Show Choir competition that was earlier this month. The Ike Singers secured the first place spot and won the title of Most Outstanding Musicianship. Alfredo Perez, representing the Ike Singers, wowed the judges with a performance that earned him the Best Performer Award, and the Ikeettes, the treble choir, were not far behind, placing third in their category and also earning the Most Outstanding Musicianship Award. The Ikeettes star, Eileen Lopez, took home the Best Performer Award. And we definitely wish the choirs and the choir director, Stephanie Chamberlain, and let me tell you, that was probably the #1 best decision I made as principal of Eisenhower, was to hire Stephanie Chamberlain, who does an outstanding job for Eisenhower and has put us on the map in terms of her choirs. So congratulations, Eisenhower and Ms. Chamberlain, and you keep up the dynamic work. Thank you.
And next, we'll go to another young lady, Mrs. Dina Walker.
Young.
Good evening, everyone. Very short comments. I want to first just say congratulations to Ms. Saravia. Ever since I've been on the board here, she has been a constant advocate for students, always engaged, coming to the board. She's probably come to the board as many times as we have to come as board members. She and other parents have been there supporting not only the work that we do here in the district, but supporting the parents also who also need a voice. So congratulations, Ms. Saravia. The last thing I'd like to say is for those parents who have graduating seniors, and you're thinking, hey, this is the time they're gonna graduate and honestly be out of my hair, let me tell you, the way you can get them out of your hair, make sure they have a plan after high school. For those of you who have not seen a college acceptance letter or have a plan for your young person after high school, there is still plans. San Bernardino Valley College is open all the time to take you in any direction that you want to go to. So please remember that, because of COVID, some of the outreach around post-secondary plans haven't been as exuberant and as years in the past. But I just want to make sure that families know that there's still options for your young people after high school to get involved for their careers and or college, and then there's still money. So we still have a very low turnout on people turning in financial aid. So don't forget, please see your counselors or your career techs at your schools or somebody else who knows about financial aid. Families, there is still opportunity. With that said, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we go to Mr. Martinez. Or I'm sorry, our very own Vice President, Mrs. Stephanie Lewis.
Well, thank you.
Young lady.
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be back. I was away. My dad is seriously ill. But he's a fighter, and he's an educator. And so when I think about education, where do it begin? At home, in the community. If you look at your cell phones and Google tutoring sites and put the zip code of Rialto, only one will show up. If you put surrounding zip code, Rancho, Claremont, you see a plethora of tutoring and coaching and mentoring. It's very important for us as a board. We have approved, we have authorized so many types of tutoring, reading. Parents, you need to utilize. Teachers, you need to recommend and tell parents. On the Parents Institute, I was so proud when you heard the different students said, my scores on iReady, I've gained this much and I've gained this much. A child knows where they're lacking. It's no secret when they feel insecure, and it's no secret when they really reach that content and they're proud. Okay, so we do want to see growth, but it doesn't hurt when you ask for help. So parents, we've authorized this as a board, all types of funding. On the parent list, you need to say tutoring. Most of these affluent districts, there's a Kumon, there's a Sullivan, there's a Brain Trust at every other shopping center. The board has provided this for your student. We even authorized some churches to do after school, some community centers, some mentor, whatever. If you're doing art, can you throw some reading in there? You're doing dance, can you throw history in there? We have authorized this. Parents, you're gonna have to be aggressive and utilize this. Teachers, you're gonna have to be aggressive and recommend. We want the feedback of all these programs. How is it utilized, okay? Because if you don't know to ask for help, you're not gonna get it. And we're not gonna put the burden on the parent alone, the teacher alone, the community. We need to work together. We should have a tutoring available at every site, any day of the week, whatever form you need, because that is what the people are doing who are making 100%. I can't tolerate our goals being 10% anymore. At Rialto, it's academic excellent, and that means 100 and 110%. And we are funding these programs. We are supporting. This debate, I visit about 80% of our schools. There's a difference. There's a disconnect, in the high school, middle school, and the elementary. The elementary has been used to matrix, and they do a different type of grading. Okay, so if we have these workshops that you're doing this debate, that we put the pause, we want outcome. We want outcome. So if you have to go up to Lake Arrowhead and have an outside facilitator and see how we can work between this high school, middle school, the board expects for the teachers, administrators, the students, whoever you need to get it done, because next year this conversation is not happening. We want progress, but we want everyone to have a seat at the table. So why am I emotional? Because when you see someone 90 that has to learn how to eat and walk, and he's doing it. He's doing it. So I expect for a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old with all these resources and these teachers to find a way to make it happen, because we expect excellence. I'm so happy about our special education that has moved in the, not behind the shadow. We're not begging for services anymore. We're up front. We're being inclusive. We're having the Special Olympics. You know, we're having things that they are highlighted because they're going to be their best self. And we're actually pushing academic track, not just a warehouse, not just a completion, but they can do the best of their ability. I just brought the teen hotline number. Safety is an issue. If you know that your child has a problem with anger and they leave the house mad, call, keep them home, okay, if they have a problem. If you have a problem, as parents, sometimes we have a problem. We have our own problem, and they have their problem. If there's a situation, we have counselors, we have contracted outside with South Coast. If you're a teacher and you're having a problem, let's get real, and you're having an issue, you should be able to reach out to your hotline. It's time for us, now that we've moved past COVID, and we're living in an endemic area, we're gonna have to find ourselves being in a safe place. But I don't want our listening audience to think all the negative, because this Rialto Unified School District has been open. That's celebration. We're moving forward. We're working together as a board with the parents, with the teachers, with the community. We heard you. We put a program on pause. We're working with our safety. We've boosted up our safety department. Work with them. Don't come and just complain at the podium and give a little bit of facts. You tell the whole story, or you tell us in an email, okay? So we can really work with you, because we want everyone to be safe. It's very hard where you have no security and feel like you're gonna get knocked over your head. But our children are gonna make mistakes, and when we see when a teacher needs to reach out, and the teachers do need that form of communication, you know, I expect for our unions and our administrative to work on a plan. Give us a plan that most of the teachers I met, they have good plans at their school system. Work on these plans together. If you have alert, a code, or whatever you're gonna call it, that you can put a blast to the teachers so they know what's happening in the classroom. If they hear something, let's work on solutions. And most of the people who are in the trenches have very good ideas with the solution. We need to find a retreat. We need to get it together. So next year, during the summer, we are on board for academic excellent or nothing at all. Am I fired up?
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Martinez, take it away.
I'm still shaking. Okay, I'm frustrated, very frustrated, because the board wants, our mandate to self is to have students job ready or college ready. We're talking about grades, we're talking about we can't do this, we can't do that. Let's start talking about how are we going to get this done. It's a mindset that I'm challenging everyone to accept, because the public won't accept anything less. I'm tired of our teachers getting blamed. I'm tired of our staff getting blamed. I'm tired of this or that excuse. How are we going to get this done? We're failing, and the public is watching. Education nationwide is failing. And they're blaming schools, they're blaming boards, they're blaming the people in charge of the classroom, the teachers. I don't agree with that. But I'm not in a classroom. I'm here and I'm trying to gain consensus from the associations and change the mindset. How will we get this done? That's it, Mr. President. It's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. And I think we all share a little bit of frustration and a lot going on nowadays. So with that, I just want to again thank everybody who came out to support both Mr. Joseph Williams and Mrs. Celia Saravia. We look forward to being able to present Key to the District to Mr. Williams at our next meeting. I also just wanted to just also reflect on how nice it is to have a little bit more space. Who knows, maybe if the board is willing and the superintendent's okay, maybe we could start meeting here a little more often, or, at least once in a while. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on a couple things. I think it's important that we try to be as fair as possible to everybody. Mrs. Dominguez spoke tonight. Mrs. Dominguez, thank you for being involved in your community and your schools. And thank you for sharing with us all of the good things happening, right, and for your invitation. I do want to apologize for cutting you off when you passed your 3 minutes. And this board has asked me to please adhere people to the 3-minute speaking rule. It's not that we like doing that. I don't like cutting people off and telling them, hey, your time's up. That's why we kindly ask everyone to please adhere to the 3 minutes, and when the buzzer's up or their timer's up, could you please let the next person come up? I don't want to be perceived, and I don't think anybody on this board wants to be perceived as giving special treatment to any particular interest groups, any particular organizations. And the last thing this board, or me as board president, wants to be accused of is being in cahoots with union representatives. I have to be neutral. This board has to be neutral. We're here for everybody. We can't cut off parents at the podium and then allow employees to speak unlimited time. This is a public board meeting for the Board of Education, held in public so that the public knows what we're doing and the business that's going on and being approved or denied, things that are happening. It's not a meeting to give the public or anybody from the district unlimited time for speaking, and I apologize, but I do feel that 3 minutes is fair enough time for anybody to articulate and say exactly what they want to say. And we hear you. We hear you. We are trying. We've put things on hold. We're allowing the district leadership to work on the things they want to work on. We believe in them. We haven't lost faith in them. If there's things you guys need to work out or anybody needs to work out with them, that's fine. Not a problem. We're here for everyone, our students, our teachers, our admin. We're not against our unions, but we also can't be looked upon as expecting to give special treatment. So again, I'm going to ask that everyone please adhere to the 3-minute public speaking rule. Unless you're on the board, and that applies to everyone. Again, I apologize, Ms. Dominguez, for cutting you off at the podium. I don't like to do that, but if I have to, I will. Thank you. Next, we go to item D4.
How about D2?
I'm sorry. D2. D1. Do we,
Make a motion to open public hearing?
and again, before we go on to public hearing, I do want to apologize to anyone who has felt disrespected or in any way offended. But again, I just want to be fair and give the same amount of time to everybody. Would anybody else like to comment? Okay. Item D1. Any person wishing to speak on item on the public hearing agenda will be granted 3 minutes, and that is California School Employee Association, CSEA, Chapter 203, proposal for the 2022-2023 school year pursuant to the requirements of government code and board policy. The attached initial contract proposal for the 2022-2023 school year submitted by the California School Employees Association, CSEA, for an agreement between the California School Employees Association, CSEA, and the Rialto Unified School District Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. Do we have a motion to open public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Do we have any person wishing to speak on this item?
We do not.
Okay, any questions or comments? The time is 8:44. Comments or questions by board members? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Do we have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved?
Do we have-
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time is 8:45. Item D3, open public hearing. Any person wishing to speak on an item on the public hearing agenda will be granted 3 minutes. And this is for item D3.1, Communication Workers of America, CWA, Local 9588, 2022-2023. Pursuant to the requirements of government code and board policy, the attached initial contract proposal for the 2022-2023 school year submitted by the Rialto Unified School District for an agreement between the Communication Workers of America, Rialto Unified School District, and the Board of Education is hereby posted in compliance with the legislative requirements for public notice. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved?
Second.
Dr. Avila, do we have anybody wishing to speak on this item?
We do not.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The time is 8:46. Do we have a motion to close public hearing?
So moved?
Do we have a second? Mr. Martinez, was that you?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Time is 8:46. Item E, consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon one motion unless pulled by the Board of Education members or their superintendent for individual action.
I have the item.
Okay.
E1.5.
E 1.5, okay. Any other items? Do we have a motion to approve items, consent calendar items E, with the exception of E 1.5?
So moved.
Second?
Okay, do we have a preferential vote by student board member, Julian Hunter?
Aye.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, now we go to item E 1.5. First reading of revised Board Policy 5141.4, Child Abuse Prevention and Reporting and Exhibit. Approve the first reading of revised Board Policy 5141.4, Child Abuse Prevention and Reporting and Exhibit. And take it away, Vice President.
Okay, so in the paragraph, the superintendent or designee may display posters. I think that we shall. We should have posters, phone calls, hotlines throughout all campuses. That should be our policy. It should be included in the policy. It's a may.
I'd agree.
Any other questions or comments?
So if the superintendent to have staff to sort of rewrite that language and then have it approved through the attorney's office and see how we can implement that before it becomes policy.
Dr. Avila, would you like to comment or?
That revision can be done now, and the board can
We can do it now.
accept the proposed revision.
Would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion.
Second, please state your motion so they can do it.
Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth paragraph where it states the superintendent or designee may, it should be will display posters in areas on campus for student, and it should be in all areas of campus. I didn't know if we have to have the attorney to review that. You know, if we'll be able to implement that as soon as we approve it, or I'm asking for.
It requires a second reading.
Okay.
But the language that if you accept the language that's commonly inserted, there will be shall.
Okay, thank you.
I like that better. Okay, I second the motion to have it read, the superintendent or designee shall display posters.
Any questions or comments to that?
No,
Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And that was as amended, aye. Next, we go to item F, discussion action items. F1, amendment to agreement with Autism Spectrum Intervention Services and Training. And it's to amend the agreement to provide training, intervention services and training to provide applied behavioral analyst aides and increase the agreement at a cost of $150,000 for a total cost of $550,000 effective April 21st, 2022 through June 30th, 2022, and to be paid from the general fund special education. All other terms of the agreement will remain the same. Do we have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second?
Questions or comments? Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly? Ms. Lewis?
Aye.
And myself, aye. We go to F2, amendment to agreement with Behavioral Autism Therapies LLC. Amend the agreement with Behavioral Autism Therapies LLC to provide applied behavioral analysts, ABA aides, and increase the agreement at a cost of $150,000 for a total cost of $550,000 effective April 21st, 2022 through June 30th, 2022 at a cost not to exceed $150,000 and to be paid for from the general fund special education.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, does this look correct? Dr. Avila, just to double check?
Yes.
The way it's stated?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly? Vice President Lewis?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to F3, agreement with School Pathways. Approve an agreement with School Pathways to provide a complete software learning solution for independent study at Supanic Virtual Academy, effective June 15, 2022 through June 14, 2023, at a cost not to exceed $53,000 and to be paid from the general fund.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Clerk Lu-
Aye.
Vice President Lewis?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to F4, name change of Supanic High School to Supanic Virtual Academy.
Move to approve?
Second.
And it's to approve the name change and the expansion to grades TK through 12 with an offering of both independent study and virtual school effective July 1st, 2022, at no cost to the district. Questions or comments?
Been trying to get this for 10 years. Thank you.
Yes, I think it's a great idea, yes.
Long overdue.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Aye.
Vice President Lewis?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Item F5, resolution number 212241, remuneration.
Move to approve?
Second.
Thank you, and it's to adopt the resolution excusing the absence of Board Vice President Stephanie E. Lewis from the Wednesday, April 6, 2022 regular meeting of the Board of Education. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly? Vice President Lewis?
Abstain.
And myself, aye. Next, we go to F6, resolution number 212242, remuneration, excusing the absence of Board Member Dina Walker from the Wednesday, April 6, 2022 regular meeting of the Board of Education. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Move. So moved.
Oh, I'm sorry, do we have a motion?
Yes,
To
move.
Second.
Okay. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Abstain.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
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 Aye. F7, liability claim number 212204, rejection. Deny liability claim number 212204. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr.
We're-
Martinez?
We're moving to reject this.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Okay.
To deny liability claim.
Aye.
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 And aye. Thank you. F8, liability claim number 212209, rejection, deny liability claim. Ms. Walker, a first?
I'll make the motion.
A second?
Second?
Okay. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
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 Okay, and myself, aye. Thank you, Board. Next, we go to F9, administrative hearing. Do we have a motion and a second?
Move to approve?
Second.
And that's for case number 212257, 212249, 212248, and 212244. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
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 And aye. Thank you. F10, stipulated expulsion, case numbers 212263 and 212258.
Move to approve?
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly? Ms.
Aye.
Lewis?
Aye.
And myself, aye. F11, reinstatement of expulsion, case numbers 212227, 212224. Do we have a motion in the second?
Move to approve?
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Walker, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Whew. Now we go to adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on May 4, 2022 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John Castellunas Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office.
So move.
Second?
Preferential vote by Student Board Member Julian Hunter.
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Mr. Martinez?
Aye.
Ms. O'Kelly?
Aye.
Ms. Lewis?
Aye.
And myself, aye. The time is 8:56.